Hello, Michael Jacobs, or whoever has just randomly clicked on this video. I'm going to do a review today of the Girl Meets World finale, titled Girl Meets First Date. Now, if anyone doesn't know what the show Girl Meets World is about, well, it's basically a spin-off of the 90s show Boy Meets World, which was about a boy called Corey Matthews going through his life, learning all these lessons about the world, and basically meeting it in some form or fashion, maybe in heartbreakness, or in funness, or loads of different types of emotions. And it's an amazing show. It's probably one of the best shows I've ever watched, because the lessons it taught, the quotes are just amazing, and thirdly, Mr. Feeney. Need I say more? And in that show, Boy Meets World, he gets together and marries Topanga, who is his wife in the spin-off series of Girl Meets World. And Girl Meets World is basically about Corey's daughter, Riley, who goes through the same things as he did, because she's got his quirkiness and her lust for wanting things to be like packaged in a lovely present, wanting things to be better and right, which is a nice thing to get from one of your parents. This episode was about Riley going on her first date, surprise, surprise, with a guy called Lucas, who she's been hung up over crazily since the pilot. Seriously, she has it bad. Lucas tries to get her dad Corey's permission, which doesn't go well at first because Corey's a very protective father. I mean, Topanga's okay with it, but, seriously, Corey is, shutting doors in Lucas's face. And it was a really good episode. I enjoyed it, more than I thought I would. I think that's one of the best in the season, apart from the Christmas episode and Girl Meets Master Plan, which is a really good episode, I thought. The main things I liked about the episode is Corey's reactions to Lucas coming was absolutely priceless. I thought that it was really cool. And the whole Josh and Maya thing, the way she was going on about how 3 years doesn't matter, and then he was doing the same thing with this other girl who she was flirting with, and she rejected him, which I thought was pretty cruel. But it was good because we got to see how Maya felt, and Josh could understand how she felt about it. It was quite deep the way they did that. It's not every day you hear that on a Disney show, so I thought that was really good. The one part of the episode that really made me laugh, not out loud but inside, was the bit when Maya asked out Lucas and Riley got really shocked because Lucas was her crush and everything, and she got betrayed. And then she discovered that was Maya's plan to push Lucas to ask Riley out, because obviously he didn't want to ask Maya, or go with Maya, or whatever. And she said that he doesn't want to go out with me, he's never going out with me. I'm going to marry anyone but Ranger Rick. And I was like, that's gotta sting. Because there's a whole fan base of Lucia, I don't know how they pronounce it, Lucas and Maya, shippers, who want them to get together so badly, so that must have stung. I am really sorry, I'm very sympathetic, because, I don't know, I think that it would be interesting, but, it's I think she might like Farkle a little bit, because, when Farkle saw Riley and Lucas kissing, he went straight for Maya, and then she kind of, put her hand out, and he ended up kissing her hand, and she kind of liked it a little bit. So, I mean, I think it's been clear all season that she has a very soft spot for him. Hence, Girl Meets Flaws. I want my Farkle back. It's clear that he flirts with her more than Riley, even though he claims that he loves them both equally. I think it would be interesting to see them go out for a bit, or something. Or even explore what they feel, or even let Maya explore what she feels. But I really can't see them ending up together. They just don't have that kind of relationship. The dynamic happens every single show. I mean, sometimes something that sounds like a good match on paper and doesn't necessarily work in real life. I think the show should focus on more Maya and Riley's relationship more than the love interests, to be honest with you, because they're still young. The characters are still developing. I think it should take a few seasons of character development before they do any real seriousness about romance and stuff. It should be less about the ships and more about the storyline. You've got to let the characters drive the story, not the story drive the characters. Otherwise, it's just a pap show. Honestly, I'm not being critical for a bad reason. I'm just saying that's what happens. The other things I really enjoyed about this episode is Oggy and Ava wedding. It was so funny. I don't understand. I mean, Ava is annoying at times. Okay, I've met kids like her all the time. Seriously. I don't hate her. Some people do. I think I hate her mother more than anything, because she's the one who made Ava like that. So, I think it really should blame the mother, and she's just a little kid after all, so maybe Oggy could make her better. It was quite funny how the wedding just happened before Corey's eyes, and Topanga went through the next room and said, "You've just missed a milestone in our children's life," and he was like, "Oh yeah?" What I also liked about this episode is the fact that they didn't go to any restaurant when it was a double date and it was Farkle and Maya and Lucas and Riley. I don't really get how they would just dress up to ride the subway, but, you know. But I like it wasn't a restaurant or anything, because they're just in 7th grade. I mean, they're only little. Oh, I like the ending, where it was like this parallel between what Corey and Topanga are saying and what Riley and Maya were saying, that life is going to change, but it's okay because they've got each other, which I really liked. I think that was a really good thing to do. The thing that I didn't like about this episode, I'm trying to think. Very few things. I really did like this episode, but I know people are making it very clear, I mean, on the show and all the writers and everything, that Riley and Lucas are going to end up together. And I'm just like, are you serious? Are you freaking kidding me? This is a show about teaching kids about reality. She met Lucas on a freaking subway. Maya, her best friend, basically threw her into Lucas's lap and they met and everything. And it was a love first sight kind of thing. I mean, she just looked at him and started giggling. I mean, it is a quite shallow crush to begin with. I mean, they might progress. I mean, it doesn't really matter how much they progress as a couple or anything, because it will always revert to her, like, that kind of foundation of how it started, like a love first sight crush, and this really typical good-looking Texas boy. I mean, if he was like Farkle, if he looked like Farkle, she wouldn't have been interested. I think, even though he's called Lucas Fryer, Topanga Lawrence, Fryer Lawrence, whatever, they're never going to be the Corey Topanga. No matter how many dates Riley goes through, they're never going to. There's only one Corey and Topanga. I'm not really that bothered with any ships on Girl Meets World, because obviously it's still season 1, they're still developing their characters, and it's not really got to the point where it's really serious about romance. The only ship that I ship on the show, I'm just going to admit this right now, is Farkle and Riley. Don't laugh. I know it's an incredibly ridiculous ship, and I know it's never really been hinted like Farkle and Maya has, but I just think it would just be so beautiful, because when in the show has there ever really loving and companion relationship happen like that? When? I mean, on a Disney show, I mean. Austin and Ally doesn't really count. it's the only Disney Channel relationship right now that isn't based on a love-hate relationship from the start. But come on, the title says it all. We all knew it was going to happen from the pilot, so it doesn't really count. I think if the writers do it the right way, it would actually be a very beautiful relationship. I think the reason why I started wanting Farkle and Riley to sort of get together rather than Farkle and Maya, or Farkle and Smackle, or whatever, is because in Girl Meets Flaws, she was the first one who came to him and asked him what the hell was wrong with him, because he was getting bullied about turtlenecks. Farkle told her what was wrong, and she gave him this hug. She said, "This isn't you, this isn't the Farkle I know, and I want to know why, and I want to know now." That's what I call a foundation for a future relationship. Is there's a lot of trust, they care for each other. Obviously, they've had a lifetime of friendship. They look out for each other. Thus, Girl Meets Farkle's choice. He kind of needs a ray of sunshine to help him. I mean, even though he says that he's perfection or something like that, Girl Meets Flaws proved that he does have a few insecurities about himself, and Riley comes and makes it all better. So I think that is a true foundation for any future relationship, that kind of thing. And I've just seen just now that they're discussing about bringing in a gay character, and some of the comments are like, well, there goes another kid-friendly show. Seriously. When has a Disney show ever had an LGBT character on? They say that kids should progress and discover their sexuality when they're teenagers or something, not just when they're little and stuff. Yet they put their kids in front of the telly, in front of straight couples. Seriously, it's no different. I really love the subject of LGBT, and I wanted to do a documentary on it, but my documentary idea didn't get picked. It was replaced by depression. Thanks a lot, Todd. It's like they're teaching kids, this prince should be with the princess, you know. So I don't see what they're saving kids from anyway. So I think, do it. Even though it probably could get you sued or ban an episode, do it. Because it would just be amazing for the show. It'd just be so good for Disney as well. And if you do it, I will clap you on the back and I will probably hug you through the internet. Because that would just be amazing. And if you do it, if you write it well, then I will congratulate you on that as well. So that would just be amazing. So, bye.